Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first race of round 4 of the Metroid Prime 2 Echoes Randomizer Tournament. I am joined today with my co-com, Captain MD13. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. We got a good one for you here tonight, folks, as we are beginning our first match in round 4 of the Rounds of Swiss.
And on our tracker today, we have Jojo Mojo 2. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, one of the big things, I see the buzz already in chat. No pun intended there, but could Chaika make an appearance for the first time tonight?
Yes, something that was fixed in, we now currently run on version 2.5 of the randomizer, and a fix that was made is that Chica is much more likely to have progression. As it turns out, due to a energy tank requirement issue, Chica was very unlikely to have progression, which is why up until throughout the entirety of this tournament, we have not seen Chica.
Well, I'm holding out for it. I'm excited.
All right, looks like we have audio from the runners. They have gotten off in the race time room, which means we will be starting in a minute. They are GAing to a Aegon start today. So light or dark Aegon. Looks like no starting items, so probably won't be too deep.
Yeah, and I didn't see any GAs, so I believe final bosses are on and a go for this race.
I can double check that.
Oh, and we have an Agon start.
Looks like straight in the entrance. Belattor is going to immediately go for the elevator, and I think Op just realized, yeah, that's pretty much all you can do when you have an Aegon entrance start here. Immediate missile launcher in the transport to Aegon waste. It really can't really be anything else at this point, except maybe bombs, but that's still kind of a stretch. We're going to see our key bear hint first that says it's missile-related upgrade in a Cursed Lake, so that cannot be Seekers. Now, 329, what are you hoping to see today in this seed?
Well, more than anything, I would like to see Chaika make an appearance. So maybe a Vanilla Dark Visor here?
Vanilla Dark Visor would certainly be nice. It is certainly overdue. Looks like Op has elected to skip out on the key bear hint for now. End result is pulls just a couple seconds ahead of Belattor here.
How about yourself, Captain? What are you in the mood to see tonight?
You know, it's besides Chica being conspicuously absent, we've seen quite a few curveballs in this tournament, but you know, it's a very tough call to say. I just want to see both of these runners perform very well. They are both exceptional runners. They are both. If I can double check my challenge here, their standings so far are quite respectable.
Yeah, no question. They are two excellent runners. I've been putting on great performances in this tournament, and expect to continue to do very well here.
Right, and I have those stats here. Belattor is currently 3-0. Op is 2-1.
Well, Op certainly hoping to tie that record up today.
Absolutely.
And we'll see if he's able to hand Bellator his first loss of the tournament.
It will certainly be a fun race to watch. Didn't get the best look at what was in Mining Station A, but oh, we're getting another look. That is an energy tank.
And a lot of these races so far have had pretty stacked Agons. Been watching or being able to calm a couple of races where runners were leaving with pretty heavy loadouts. So we'll see if Agon continues to deliver today.
Well, it looks like our first port of call has to be Bomb Guardian today because we just got missiles in Portal Access A. We really can't do anything else.
And they're going to need to get something off of there to break out of the Bomb Guardian fight.
And they'll have plenty of options. They've got bombs, boost ball, power bombs, pretty much any morph ball upgrade that isn't spider ball. I don't think single jump screw attack works. It might.
Space jump give you enough height to get out of there?
Space jump is a valid option as well. Yes, through beginner slope jumps. And yeah, Op trying to get some extra missiles off of the Shriek Bats here, and does get a 10 drop. I'm thinking, though, given our options right now, this pretty much has to be... It could be either bombs or main power bombs. Boost ball by itself won't do us any good.
Well, bombs would certainly open up those Dark World checks, too, in that main portal entrance.
Belattor getting a flawless 2-cycle there.
And what's it going to be? It is Vanilla Morph Ball.
Could you imagine if Morph Ball was separate in this item set? It can be. We can randomize Morph Ball, but for the tournament settings, we don't do that. Yet.
Harkening back to the days of Prime 1, I see.
Indeed.
Well, with those Morph Ball bombs, Bellator happy to go ahead and get a full check up here at the Agon Energy Controller, and going to pick up some power bombs, too. So we are at least fully stocked as far as bomb upgrades go.
That's also +1 for the where was that when I needed it 30 seconds ago list.
And unfortunately, no translators yet, so gonna have to pass up on this hint up here.
Alright, so with bombs, we have access to, by logic, we can do Jump Guardian, and we can do Mining Station Access. So, probably Mining Station Access next on the to-do list for the runners. Aster saying randomized combat visor. It actually is something you can do. That is something you can also change.
I was going to say, chat a little merciless today for the runners. Ooh, and speaking of translators, there's another. Wish I would have had that a few seconds ago. Amber Translator, picked up by Bellator's side. It was Morph Ball Bomb locked, so no way to check that hint without it.
Yeah, and because we have Amber Translator, they will start checking hints, starting with Mining Plaza, which reveals to us that the Annihilator is on a Morbis.
That's a rough one. More often than not required, but boy, we've gone from no Chika Seeds, minimal bosses, to possibly an all bosses run, maybe. If you chat, I'm sure would love to see it.
Well, certainly Annihilator Beam on a boss is a promising start, because Annihilator Beam is also one of the keys for Quadraxis.
Yeah, I see chat getting hype. That Amber Translator pickup also gives us quick access to Sand Cache early on. And it is the Space Jump boots, so capitalizing on following that logic chain here.
We now have the early Aegon Care package. And we see that another beam is in Great Temple Transport B access. So it is locked by Violet Translator. That could be dark or light at this point.
And Op making the same plays, following that Amber Translator to pick up his Space Jump boots.
And I blinked and missed it. Did Bellator open up the labs door?
I didn't see. I was looking over on Op's side.
Yeah, because Op's doing that. That's not a bad idea to get the labs door at least open, just in case the next beam on the list is light and you end up going in through labs backwards.
See chat confirming that they didn't see anything of the sort, so probably lean towards no.
Alright, we're getting another hint from the portal terminal, which reveals to us that Umos 2 is a dark ammo tank, so Quad is half dead. Now, to these runners, they may not necessarily need that Annihilator if Umos 2 is not required, but Quad is. They can get out of Hive Temple access through some BSJ screw attack shenanigans, but hopefully they don't have to worry about that yet.
And speaking of shenanigans, if you're possibly new to this randomizer, Bellator taking advantage of the space jump boots to go ahead over there and skip most of this Morph Ball bomb puzzle and just bombing that third lock. That's all you need to do. It's the only thing the game checks for. If you can get this one out, you're good to go.
Yeah, indeed. And how you're seeing them get up to the height for that third switch in the first place is through, excuse me a moment. And anyway, that's being done through what's called a slope jump, where you basically jump up a slope to stack the momentum. From... Oh, that's Seekers. To stack the momentum from a vertical, from an angled slope and the regular jump. Sorry, that took a lot longer to explain than it should have.
No, but we did have that Seeker missile find, as you were saying. Can't reach it yet. Gonna be locked behind Boost Ball, or I guess an out-of-logic Cannonball, which gives you those boost properties as well.
Yeah, Boost Ball, and it would be hilarious if if Violet Translator was behind Seekers and therefore locked by Annihilator Beam. Assuming that's dark, assuming it's dark in Transport B access.
So you're just dreaming up an awful time for them this afternoon, huh?
Well, here's the thing. It's 50-50 with the stuff I dream up. Like, some days I'm, like, dead on. Other times it's just one thing getting debunked after another.
Well, I always like to root for a little bit of comfort on the runner's side. They work hard to put on a good show. I hate to see them suffer too much, but thus is the way with Echoes, so...
Bellator's trying to go with some swag, trying to get up to Trial Tunnel before, without going all the way up the path as intended, but having a little trouble there. AWP is elected to turn back out of Dargagon and check Transport Center early. Not a bad idea given our still very low density of available items.
Bellator making me a little nervous here. 12 energy, as floating between safe zones here.
You only need about 7 or 8 to transition between these safe zones, so certainly,
Was that an E-tank?
That was a missile tank.
Missile tank, okay.
All Power picked up another cheeseburger. And we'll be returning to the Dark World. Extra cheeseburger is nice, especially for the Dark Splinters, when we do eventually get to Great Temple. Which we could still technically do through GFMC, because they started in Aegon. The Emerald Gate to the temple is down for now. But the only problem is they still can't get past the gate without Violet Translator anyway.
Well, until that energy pickup there, Bellator was looking like you, Captain, running through the Dark World on with just a sliver of health. But fully up to 99. Gonna be taking the shortcut here to get rid of Jump Guardian, as the unloaded model, the hitbox is loaded, but the visual model is not, so Bellator can deal plenty of damage, get that health bar down to just a sliver on Jump Guardian's side, and when Bellator starts the fight, should be just a few shots to finish it off.
Yeah, if you get as close as you can to the actual retail price, I mean the actual damage value, health bar of Jump Guardian without going over, which in this case is 1100, yep. It'll be a quick, easy fight.
And we'll see what Bellator clocked in at.
Looks like about 1070. Oh, nope, it was a little more. It was more like 1040.
Well, either way, a few extra shots needed on Bellator's end, but still a very nice Jump Guardian fight. And let's see what the reward is.
Ooh.
Spider Ball.
That
nice to have, especially right here.
Yeah, that gives us one free check real quick here in Junction Site, which we have not seen. And it contains a red key. Probably Aegon.
And on ops side, we see that same health pickup, back to full energy there, and he's going to be doing his little pre-fight damage here. I like the imagery that you used, Cap.
As close as you can to the actual health value without going over.
Price is Right style.
Yeah, damage over that health bar won't actually count. So it's actually not a bad idea after 1070 to start just throwing a few lemons into the mix. So we've gotten Spider Ball. Just trying to think what that gives us right now. I think our next play has to be Labs, and Light Beam's probably going to show up in Labs. If we got Spider Ball, we might be seeing a way into Vent Area A. Or if we get Boost and Super Missiles, Storage C. Unlikely, but it could happen.
Supers would be a really nice early find. That's something that can elude our runners, so to say. Op taking a scan to double check what Morph Ball upgrade that is, but happy to grab Spider Ball on Op's side.
Yeah, it's certainly not a bad idea to double check, because the last thing you want to do is accidentally pick up Cannonball when you're about to go through a Kinetic Orb Cannon. Unless, of course, it's on Power Bomb Guardian, in which case you basically have no choice. Although, one visual cue that I discovered only a couple of weeks ago that is that you can check for the Spider Boost Ball models is that the Spider Ball does have a solid, like yo-yo dots on the sides of the Morph Ball, compared to Boost Ball where it looks more like Tron lines on the side, and Cannonball by extension.
The attention to detail can pay off when you're saving a couple of seconds here and there.
Indeed. You can thank actually Bash Prime for that bit of trivia. Now what Belattor is attempting to do is a bomb space jump, was attempting to do a 3-bomb space jump to try and get the energy tank in Mining Station A. Certainly trying to get an energy tank before Labs is not a bad idea, considering pirates hit like a truck. I believe they deal 3 damage each. But they shoot a lot. Op has returned to Temple Grounds here. And I think he might have just realized that he doesn't have Violet, so cannot progress yet.
Yeah, I see chat speculating a bit where that Violet translator could be. It's not going to be on a Morbus, though. The Morbus has Annihilator Beam. Bellator making some progress. Going to be doubling back here to see, take advantage of the Spider Ball. Go ahead and check what's behind this force field and get a hint for what the Incash is holding in Battlegrounds.
Yeah, definitely not a bad idea to check this now, especially since we still do not have any intel on Dark Visor. And just another missile tank, but we are revealed that Battleground contains for us a missile-related upgrade, which we know is not Seekers, so any missile-related upgrades pretty much don't matter anymore. Op also performing Yeetus Deletus with those pirates.
Well, it's definitely still early on, but the slightly adjusted, I believe it's the 2.5 logic, seeing a couple less items to start out with here. Almost 20 minutes in, and we're really only a Spider Ball has been the big find. But there's that Violet Translator hiding out under the Space Pirate's feet.
Yeah, and that's pretty big considering that we've already defeated Bomb Guardian and Jump Guardian. It does make the GFMC loop, or the Temple Grounds loop, I should say, very tantalizing. Because with that Power Bomb, the Power Bomb tanks they both have, they can also route in Dynamo Chamber as well. And
And
that might actually be what Bellator is deciding to do. And with with the top possible Dark Beam and Transport B access, this actually is not a bad idea, especially since Dark Beam locks out two fairly significant checks in labs, that being Storage B and D.
and Cap, refresh my memory here. There's a beam that we know about, correct? That's violet locked as well?
Yeah, the beam is in Transport B access. That's the Violet Lock beam.
Okay.
The other, which we know of, is Annihilator, which is on Amorbus.
It's a beam of indiscriminate quality.
Yeah, the Dark would probably yield the most checks, but Light would certainly be nice too, because that does offer you a back end into labs through Ventilation Area A. We're also getting a look at Mining Plaza here. Couldn't really see what that was. It is an item, though, based on the audio cue.
Yeah, light beam would also give you a nice progression through the dark labs. You can go ahead and check that left side.
Yeah, it would open up... Well, it actually wouldn't open up in Cache 1. We still need Dark Beam for that, since the door is Dark Beam on the entry side. Finally, also going to get to read this hint in the Aegon elevator after a while, and it reveals that Boost Ball is in Dark Aegon. Thanks, game. Actually, that's a good hint, because we don't know about Boost Ball, so we know Boost Ball is in Dark Aegon somewhere.
Yeah, usually you get that hint an hour and a half after you've already found what you were looking for, so that's a nice hint for sure.
Yeah, it'll certainly do us a favor later, at least helping isolate Boost Ball, but, and they might wish to find it before fighting Amorbus if they wish to set up a worm skip scenario with slightly less difficulty. And it looks like Bellator is electing to do the Dark Missile Trooper play, and it looks like AWP is following suit here. I say that, but a suit was never hinted in this play. And what does the Dark Missile Trooper have for us today? Dark Ammo.
Kind of living up to the name there.
Fair enough, and it does at least give us 70 Dark Beam shots when we finally do get it. And with final bosses, I do believe final bosses are enabled, so extra beam ammo will help, especially if they do need to pick up that Annihilator.
And armed with the power bombs, as you saw, Bellator able to evaporate the Dark Missile Trooper.
Indeed.
Was not built for power bomb repellent. Op getting that boost ball hint. I definitely don't think there was too much available anyway, so it makes sense for both runners to head back here with the Violet Translator.
Yeah, the only checks they really could have done in labs was bioenergy production. That was about it. Alright, we see that we saw a cursed lake already, and Bellator's found a power bomb tank in the Hive Chambers B, so nothing in the Hive Chambers today.
And we're just about a little more than 20 minutes into this race so far, but still no eat tanks. Very unhealthy seed so far.
Indeed.
Not too much trouble for the runners of this caliber, but it does make you think about how to kind of more economically make your movements through the dark world.
Yeah, it does require you to stay put a little bit sometimes. As we've seen from both runners, Bellator has validated. And Tess' item appears to be a missile tank.
And Op evaporating the Dark Missile Trooper for that dark ammo pickup. Ooh, and our first STK makes an appearance here on Bellator's side.
Sorry, my internet went a little wonky for a split second, and I heard you say Bellator get Dynamo Chamber. It sounded like it was a key.
Yeah, we had our first Sky Temple key show up, and we'll go back. We also had a Screw Attack sitting up there on Bellator's side, so armed with Space Jump and Screw Attack, that's going to help Bellator with movement through the rest of this game, be more efficient. But that first STK pickup is pretty big because if you don't know, We're going to need 9 of those Sky Temple keys to be granted entrance into that final boss fight. With a little more equipment, we can make our way to a room that will give us hints to the locations of those, but it's always nice to stumble upon them. It's kind of why you're doing your regular checks and routing.
Indeed, and it should also be noted that given that we have seen that Sky Temple key and Dynamo Chamber, it does confirm that main power bombs are required. Unfortunately, that is not the key Belattor wants to see right now in GFMC. But just to explain briefly about power bombs, never mind. But yes, the logic does not assume you're able to use power bombs until you've picked up the main launchers. So now that Belattor has picked up the main launchers, that Sky Temple key is in logic.
Belattor not bothering to duplicate that key since it serves no purpose.
Yeah, keys are technically unique items, not progressive, so they cannot be, it would make no difference duplicating them. What is that in Grand Wind Chamber? That would be, looks like an energy tank, but I can't really tell.
It looks like gravity boost on my side.
It does look like a movement system.
I
But
see
it looks to be
chat saying
grapple.
Okay.
Which is useless now, we have Screw Attack.
Speaking of screw attack, Op rewarded promptly with said item.
Yeah, so far there really hasn't been a whole lot of room for divergence yet between our two runners. It's really come down to just a battle of movement. Belattor not interested in Wind Chamber Gateway. By the way, yeah, that vault has a very large hitbox. And with main power bombs, they could get back from GFMC now if they wanted to. I'm glad we have not encountered any nightmare scenario seeds where if you don't get everything in GFMC, like if you have FTA access, you don't get everything on your first try, your seed is basically hard-locked. We had that scenario occur once in a weekly over the summer.
Yeah, that would be pretty awful.
Yeah, it was Dark Visor and Fortress Transport Access, and a suit and Emerald Translator were in GFMC. The other suit was in Aegon, if I'm not mistaken. And if you didn't get all those items, you had no way. You had no way back from something important. You basically had no way to get back to GFMC because main power bombs were nowhere to be seen, and neither was Screw Attack. And that is another movement system in Transport A access.
Probably going to be gravity then. Yep.
So that's all of our movement systems accounted for today. Op maybe looking
And
to...
Op making nice... Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just saying Op might be looking to grab a power bomb tank, but not the case.
And Belattor is going to give us a look at the Dark Alpha Splinter fight here.
A reminder to the audience, power bombs are OP. As we will see again momentarily. I do think Belattor has another bomb, yeah.
Yeah, I was able to get that main pickup, which definitely helps with your count.
Yeah, you're very likely to get a power bomb, like 80% chance once you're down to 0 bombs exactly. Sky Temple key on a boss. Go figure.
It's a hard required Dark Alpha Splinter. Not that you wouldn't have checked him anyway.
You know what the funny thing is? We actually can access the Meeting Grounds hint with our current equipment since we have Amber... Well, actually, assuming that Transport B accesses Light Beam. Lokir is reminding me that Omega Pirate is the true OP. And we get more light ammo on the first Umos pickup. And in Cache 1 contains Light Beam. It is vanilla today.
Well, that means our Dark Beam is right around the corner here.
Indeed it is.
So we do have knowledge of all 3 beam locations.
I just realized something. Umos 1 is Light Beam, Umos 2 is Dark Beam ammo.
Oh,
Welcome to Umos's Aether Great Temple Ammunition Emporium.
yeah, certainly running a sale on almost liquidating, just getting it out.
It's almost like you never have to pay anything. Then again, what is the equivalent of money in the Metroid universe? That's never addressed.
Well, while we continue to debate the currency that Samus uses, we do have that Dark Beam pickup from Bellator. No doubt gonna double time it over to pick up that Light Beam as well with that knowledge.
Yeah, the question is there progression in Incash 4? Because they had to leave that behind earlier. And if that's Boost Ball, that puts Secret Missiles into play. We know Boost Ball is in Dark Aegon somewhere. The only place it could be that would be a real pain in the backside right now is Feeding Pit, of course, but Incash 2. Because with Annihilator's the only thing keeping us away from that at this point. And we know where that is.
Yeah, an Annihilator locked Boost Ball would be pretty awful.
And it looks like, yeah, we pretty much cleaned out all of Temple Grounds as we can check at this point. So yeah, Bellator is going to move back to Dark Aegon, and as you mentioned earlier, probably just gun it for Light Beam.
Yeah, this seed hasn't been too open. Got some good item pickups, but with the translators and stuff, been a little locked behind, not able to pick up those seekers yet. So makes sense to, go ahead and follow this. I'm interested to see where they choose to go next.
Yeah, I think at
Getting
this
a
point,
sense. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I just think at this point that our next progression is probably going to be Boost Ball into Seeker Missiles. Because that would give us... Well, it would give us access to the Torvis Elevator, but it wouldn't do us much more good without Emerald Translator or Super Missiles.
And Op picking up the 1/3 of the beams here. Dark Beam on Op's side at just over half an hour.
Yeah, this is very late, for a very late first beam, especially given that they started right in Aegon entrance. Bellator is attempting to do... I think Bellator is attempting to reach the Seeker's Door with a precise positioning... I still don't actually understand how this trick works. Chat's gonna have to help me out on this one. Wow.
Well, you know who does understand how the trick works? Bellator.
Yeah. Yeah, so what Bellator is going to do now is from up here, attempt to do a 3BSJ to reach the portal. I think into a screw attack just to get that tiny bit of extra height. And this will...
I really like this play.
Yeah, if you can pull this off, that gives you... In this case, it does give you Seeker Missiles before Labs, which Seeker Missiles by themselves don't really do a whole lot in Aegon. The only check they actually really open up is Mining Station B, but even still, having Seeker Missiles is a big plus for later.
Well, and even if you paint a scenario, Captain, as you were just a few minutes ago, if you have an Annihilator locked Boost Ball, this is a huge advantage.
Yeah, because right now,
And Bellator with the swag today, really enjoyed that.
yeah,
Get
so
some hype in
Bellator's...
chat. That was pretty awesome.
Indeed, and Bellator's probably actually going to route this into Incash 4 while, or not. I'm actually quite surprised at that.
Oh, I've definitely come to the conclusion that the runners must hear what I say so that they can do the exact opposite of whatever I say they're going to do.
Yeah, you do get that feeling sometimes when you're calling a race. But let's see where Op decides to go from here. Op might be thinking about Incash 4 right now. Yeah, Op's going for the portal. I think this is a play to in-cash 4. Which, if this is Boost Ball, that is going to give Op a speed edge for sure. It's actually, given that the logic usually places progression behind the previous items in the chain, it seems fairly likely. Although
And
at
if
the
it's...
same...
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, although at the same time, Dark also puts Light Beam into play, so it could be either or, really.
Yeah, if it does turn out to be Boost Ball, it's kind of a shame because kind of undoes how awesome Bellator's trick was back there, but
Yeah, that is really unfortunate.
it doesn't look like that's what we're seeing right now.
Alright, so Bellator has gone, taking a quick pit stop to grab the first energy tank out of Mining Station A.
I certainly think it was worth it.
I would agree, especially given that we are still tankless and we're still suitless with no intel. Op electing to take a quick safety save here before proceeding to in-cash 4. Does get a little crowded in dueling range after Jump Guardian.
Yeah, and you can see right there just how difficult the atmosphere can be.
Indeed, and that is an Aegon key in in-cash 4, so chances are we probably needed that anyway.
What do they call it, Captain? The Worm Rave?
Yes.
And I fully condone the save here, even just to fill the energy up, if nothing else. Quicker than waiting for it.
And actually, Ops doing a little heads-up play here, warping to start. It's basically going to take him right to Aegon entrance. Skips the portal transition. Saves just a tad bit of time. Alright, so Bellator is making the full loop to Light Beam, and I do believe it was a missile in doomed entry. Bellator is electing to go with very low ammunition strats for the most part today, not bothering to go out of the way for missile tanks, which certainly is doable, but is not easy.
Well, I can understand the broom closet one, because I believe you have to reload the room there. But a quick pickup in doomed entries, definitely a choice. Op gonna be getting a hold of the first energy tank as well. I think that's really important.
Yeah, the next $1 million question really is becomes where is that third Aegon key? You know, considering Light Beam is coming up here, it's either in Labs or in Ventilation Area A at this point. Could be in Battleground. Vanilla.
Could be. We still haven't seen that. I'm wondering if it's even here.
We know. I mean, actually, I just came to the realization. Boost Ball. We know Boost Ball is in Dark Aegon somewhere. So if it's not in Cache 2, it could be in. We've now ruled out all of Lower Dark Aegon. So it's either going to be in Battleground or in Cache 2 or Warrior's Walk if we find supers.
Yeah, Warrior's Walk would be interesting because I think the runners are probably expecting to stumble upon Boost Ball, and locked there behind supers would just delay the progression a little bit. Well, Bellator picking up the light beam.
Not reading the hint that Violet Translator's in Command Center. Thanks, game.
Oh, there you go, Captain. Bellator picking up that missile tank.
Yeah, this would probably be the most convenient time to grab it right before Battleground. So let's see what we have here. It's either going to be Boost Ball or another Aegon key. And that looks like Boost Ball to me.
Certainly worth the fight cutscene here.
Yeah, that's gonna put secret missiles into play. Wow, deciding to take advantage of that power bomb. Not quite getting that third light field up in time to deal with that warrior ring.
But even with that one E-tank pickup already, you can see the margin of freedom it gives the runners to work with.
Yeah, every energy tank is only 16.5 seconds of Dark Aether time, so gotta make do with what you're given, really. Op is electing to not go straight for Light Beam and instead do the Labs loop. Now, with Seeker Missiles in tow, we can now access the Torvus Elevator, but again, it just doesn't give us anything right now until we get either Emerald Translator or Super Missiles.
We do have access to Spider Side Sank, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, we do have access to Spider Side. We could check all 3 items. Actually, technically, Hazing Cliff is out of play until we find a second energy tank, but it looks like Op's not going to complete the loop here.
Yeah, disappointed with just a beam ammo. Looked like light beam expansion up there.
Yep.
And speaking of OP power bombs, blink and you miss it. Belattor taking down Dark Samus 1 with ease. He just never wants to hang around.
Yeah, additional fun fact, Dark Samus, for whatever reason, is 5 times weak to Annihilator, and there is our last Aegon key in Storage D.
Well, the real question here is, we know you're going to get rewarded with Annihilator Beam to take on a Morbus, but is it required?
And what is that in reactor, main reactor there? I want to say it's a missile tank.
Looks like a missile tank, although it could be...
Bellator is giving us another quick look just to be sure. Trying to get a lock with the scan, but it's being a little annoying. Ooh, a HUD system in Dark Oasis. That could either be a translator or a visor.
Yeah, and it can't be the Dark Visor, so...
Assuming it's required.
I guess Bellator content... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
So yeah, that actually could still be... That could be Emerald Translator in there, because the only thing locked in lower Torvus is Super Missiles.
Yeah, Bellator content with what they could see there. I'm guessing it looked like a missile expansion, so...
Safe bet it was a missile tank. If it was Super Missiles, they would have absolutely just gone ahead and either screw attacked into the tunnel or did the Morph Ball track to get it. And Dark Burst in Sand Processing.
I'm sure that's just what Bellator was hoping to see, right? Yeah, I'm getting the sense that Spider Side Sank might have some stuff for us today. And over on Op side, we're going to have the Light Beam pickup for Op.
And what is that in bioenergy production? Looks like another light ammo tank. And whatever it was, Bellator is absolutely not going for it.
Yeah, it certainly looked like light ammo, but sometimes it's tough to tell on the restream. And Bellator kind of going over some checks we saw Op make a little bit ago, as Op's making way through the Dark Labs.
So I'm thinking about it right now. I think the only two places we can have progression right now, we have in Cache 2, and we have access to Hall of Honor Dead with Boost Ball and Secret Missiles. So we're running out of spaces to go here.
I'm holding out for a Spider Side Sank here.
That is true. We can still check two of the checks in there. Now, the thing about this room is that after the gates go down, Bellator does have to reload it in order to make the locks hittable.
Yep, and we see Op doing the battleground fight to be rewarded with Boost Ball. I'm pretty sure Op has the knowledge of Seekers up on that Boost Ball ramp, so I would imagine we'll see the play over there pretty quickly.
Yeah, the nice thing about Secret Missiles is that right now by themselves, it's not a huge deal.
Well, Captain, I think what's great so far about this has been runners are pretty much keeping tabs on each other. We're almost 45 minutes in, and we haven't had too much divergence. We haven't been afforded too much divergence either, but...
No, we haven't. I mean, at this point, the only divergence is either get Annihilator Beam and check in Cache 2, or go to Hall of Honor Dead, or go to Sank Spider. You know, take your pick.
I just enjoy a close race. But we're getting to that point, as you were saying. We've got a couple of different options moving forward right now. We'll see who chooses to do what and how they are rewarded.
It looks like Bellator is electing to go make a quick pit stop at Mining Station B. This is not a bad idea. We can do all three tasks down here, check the 2 items and the hint. Generally, I find that if you're getting at least 2 of the objectives out of the way in one go, it's generally not a bad idea to come down here. Look like a missile tank up top. And I think Bellator is just grabbing a power bomb here. Not getting one, though.
Yeah, it looks like a missile tank.
And the Mining Station B hint reveals that a morph ball system is in GFMC compound. That would be referring to main power bombs.
Yeah, I definitely like this play on Bellator's side. I know kind of hindsight is 2020. I like this play more before we found Boost Ball because it made Seekers a little more of a niche pickup there. But with Boost and Logic now, it's Bellator knows that Op has this available as well.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure Bellator did that BSJ specifically for the powerbomb drop off the red Kralie and not the missile tank. Very nicely done, I should say. Unfortunately, Op getting a little bit bullied by the yeet beams down here. The last one in particular does do twice as much damage as the others. At least it feels like twice as much damage.
Well, a fun fact about damage that I had to double check the other day, but Metroid Prime 2 is the only game that I know of where the suits do not protect you from enemy damage.
That is correct.
Yeah, the only benefit we get here is a Dark Suit will reduce Dark Aether's damage considerably, and Light Suit will make us immune to it, but that is the only benefit you get.
That and Light Suit gives you access to poison water, because, nobody likes to drink the purple stuff. But yeah, no, I'm not sure if the Hazard Shield also has a resistance buff built in like the other suits do in Prime 1, but that might be something the Prime 3 experts can enlighten me on. But yeah, we're going to see Sank Spider side now from Bellator. Now, Bellator hasn't found Dark Aegon key, the other Aegon key in Cache 4 yet. So Bellator does not know a Morbus access, or has not had the ability to notice a Morbus access is available.
No doubt that's influencing the decision here.
Yeah, we will see if Annihilator ends up being required. A lot of checks couldn't force it to be necessary. Sentinel's Path, Quad. Looked like Hall of Combat Mastery was not important.
I don't know how Bellator saw that. I did not get a peek at that at all.
Looks like Op could see that it was a missile tank in main research as well. That is a Sky Temple key, main reactor, sorry. That was a Sky Temple key in Culling Chamber. Now this Hazing Cliff play is in logic, but it is pretty dangerous.
Is it rewarding? No, it is not.
Yeah, we only pretty much got a required Sky Temple key, to be fair, but that's about it. Bellator taking advantage of the fact that Screw Attack does indeed grant you additional resistance to Dark World damage if on Variasuit. It reduces the damage per second to about 1.4 instead of 1.2. Certainly better than 6. Bellator's just trying to get into a more advantageous position to fight off this Warrior Ing and then pick up that Warrior Ing, by the way, which absolutely just got stuck in a corner. Alright, so Bellator's going to try and get a little health back. I do think 150 with Boost Ball is enough to pick this up, but it's still kind of gutsy. So we'll see. You know, the challenge has been set. Alright, Op meanwhile, Op might be thinking of Morbus, because he's running right back to the portal terminal. In fact, I'm pretty sure that's exactly where he's going. Bellator deciding to go into the elevator, probably just to pick up some extra items, because we can't do anything else beyond this point without Dark Visor. Or Echo Visor. But yeah, very heads up to keep an eye out for that extra energy drop. And yeah, we're going to see Op fight a Morbus. With Charge Light Beam and Boost Ball, this fight isn't too bad. Would be nice to have another suit, but you gotta do what you gotta do, I guess. And let's see what Bellator decides to do. Looks like Bellator is going to take this play further into Sanctuary. With Screw Attack, we do have access to Vault Side Sanctuary, and that does give us several items, including Watch Station access, Watch Station itself, Vault, Cat West, Main Research. We can pretty much do the whole loop, actually. Looks like Bellator's just going to grab some extra ammo. We're going to get the Dynamo Works checks here. And we got a Morph Ball related upgrade in Hive Dynamo. We already know that's not important. And we got a red key in the tunnel, and that is a Torvis key. That could be important later.
I was say that Torvis key could be a stressful, some stressful knowledge there, as we don't know what's going on with Chika just yet.
Yeah, and we don't have Cobalt Translator, so the 6 hints in this area are not available. Although this loop only contains 5, the other one's in Sank Entrance. But yep, Op is going to turn in his tickets to the Worm Rave, as Chad so lovingly calls it.
Well, our first major divergence here.
And I can totally see the value in doing this, because Annihilator Beam, while it may not be required for a key, it does just make general Dark World travel a lot easier. You know, Huntering suddenly don't become a threat anymore. Going to check hints doesn't become as much of a threat anymore.
So I have to ask, Cap, in Op's shoes here, or if you're running the seat yourself, do you feel good about the Amorbus play at this point, or like almost an hour in?
You know, it's really tough to say, because we have the Sank loop available to us, and it's really tough to say, because on one end you don't want to go through this without Annihilator Beam. Looks like Op has set up the preparing to set up the worm skip. Let's see if he can make it to the other head in time, and succeeds.
Very nicely done on ops side.
But yeah, it's a tough call to make, because on one end, Annihilator, if you find Echo Visor, Annihilator does let you route in Sentinel's path as well. It actually makes the routing through Vault Side Sank much more efficient. Currently, Belattor doesn't actually have a way back up, a clean way back up through through this area, through the temple access. So if Belattor chooses to go to Sank Energy Controller, which it looks like he's at least going to grab the item first. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. It's another energy tank. So Bellator's sitting pretty cozy at 3 energy tanks now. Just manages to get that, get the boost under the legs. And, by the way, Op's already done with Amorbus. That was pretty quick.
That was a very good Amorbus fight. I love the Dark Crystal swag, too.
Absolutely. So it looks like Op is choosing to safety save, and we'll see if this is a safety save or a warp to Light Aegon. Looks like it's a safety save. Might be both.
Yeah, it was if you looked away, if you were watching Bellator at all, you pretty much missed that Morbus fight on ops side.
Alright, so we see Dark Ammo in Sank Energy Controllers, so nothing of a significant note yet in this Sanctuary play besides a Sky Temple key.
Yeah, we're getting close to an hour here, and I'm really just waiting on what's going to be the big find. We've had our first major divergence here, and someone's going to stumble upon something we need.
It may very well be that Vault Side Sank, actually, given that we have, given that we had access all the way through the gyros anyway, I don't think Annihilator was expected just for the sake of routing Sanctuary efficiently, because Sank Energy Controller had nothing, and neither did the Temple access. Alright, so Bellator was trying to do some standable terrain with that res bit to try and screw attack back up to the way out here, because this is unfortunately what Bellator has to do with that Annihilator beam. To answer a question, chat, Op, I don't think Op picked up Seekers yet.
Yeah, I don't remember seeing it on ops side.
I wonder if Op is thinking that it's just not, because Seekers aren't so consequential yet. That's a visor upgrade. Cobalt in Sank.
That's the one you're going to want to find here. It's going to give us
Absolutely.
access to quite a few hints, as well as Spider Guardian access.
Yeah, and we could full clear we could do both of the Dynamo Works checks right now. We know Spider Guardian does have a Torvis key. Now, let's see what this hint says. The Aegon Temple keys are an Aegon and Dark Aegon. Thanks, game.
Possibly somewhat helpful for Bellator. Bellator hasn't found that third Aegon key yet.
Yeah, I'm just trying to remember where the other 2 Aegon keys were. One was in...
I think it's Cache 4 is the only one that Bellator hasn't gone to.
Yeah, so that actually might end up being a valuable clue for Bellator if the other Aegon keys weren't in the Dark World, which I don't think they were. Nails the watch station skip, though. And it looks like Op is going straight for in Cache 2.
I mean, following the breadcrumbs.
Yeah, if this is like Super Missiles or Emerald Translator, this is going to be some a big break for Op. We also have to bear in mind as well that Dark Oasis is a HUD system, so that could be either Emerald Translator or Dark Visor at this point. Actually, not Dark Visor, Echo Visor, excuse me.
Yeah, as nice as it would be to be able to hit those in caches blind, kind of need the Dark Visor to see them.
Yeah, and actually I was enlightened to a fun fact, thanks to Jagger G semi-recently, is that the ink caches don't actually move. Like, they don't start floating left and right until after you've busted out of Dark Visor when you've revealed them. So that could be very useful for the purpose of like nailing a charge shot at long range, like in Battleground or Hive Dynamo, for example. What do you think the, like, worst unique item that could be in here could be? Like, do you think this is going to be Cannonball?
I think Cannonball would be the most disappointing find. But I think the most detrimental would be supers for Bellator. Be huge for Op. But Cannonball would just be a heartbreaker for all this work.
Ooh, and it's only for a light ammo tank. Certainly a worthy play by far, because if that had been progression, Op would have had a major advantage, but unfortunately just not the case. We'll see, though. That Annihilator might still be required for Sky Temple keys later. Or Quad,
Yeah,
if we
or
need
for
to do
progression.
That.
There could always be something.
Op's got a problem here. Oh. So, Op's power bomb ended up going under the elevator, and by extension, the vertical radius couldn't reach the Dark Metroid. But by using the greatest weakness to the Metroid, i.e. a door, the Metroid dropped a health pickup, and basically that saved Op. Missile tanking.
Sorry, I was going to say Bellator continuing to just find energy and missiles here. The Cobalt was a nice pickup, though, but I have to imagine that Op will stumble upon that when he makes his way over there.
A really important item can be found at transmission ends.
Man, if only that transmission would have continued a little longer, maybe we could have known some progression. But yes, another wonderful joke hint in the pool.
Looks like Bellator is interested at whatever is here in Transit Station. Ooh, almost getting the slope jump screw attack. But yeah, for whatever reason, those all Metroids in pretty much any Prime game have ice. The doors are just laced with ice, I guess, and Metroids just get incinerated on contact. Another energy tank.
Op's making progress over there to Sank as well. I'd be interested to see if having the Annihilator beam yields any benefit on the loop around on Op's side.
Well, I don't think it can right now, because I'm pretty sure all the Annihilator checks in Sank are also echo-locked. The only thing this does is conveniently route away to Watch Station through Sentinel's path. So I think by itself, Annihilator, besides, again, Dark World convenience, it doesn't do us a whole lot of good. Now, one thing Annihilator might be needed for, Transit Tunnel South, once we do finally get to Torvis. Although, to be fair, we did have a seed at the end of last week where Torvis was absolutely not even necessary. Not even a dive. Except for keys, I think. And even then, I think that was a stretch.
That's quite a rare occurrence.
Alright, Op sees the culling chamber key, and yeah, Op only has one energy tank, so this is going to be somewhat problematic. He's deciding what to do here. Did safety save about 5 minutes ago, so a death here wouldn't be too punishing. Definitely save the Annihilator beam. But yeah, 120 is not enough energy to do Hazing Cliff.
Well, I'm gonna get the information that doesn't need to be coming back here for anything.
Ooh, and he went down the hill. That's gonna be a KO. Because that ink blob is not back up yet. We have a question, chat, asking us, would we get that Sky Temple key with one E-Tank? I certainly would. It's Hazing Cliff would be a bigger question mark for me. Oh, we're going to get... oh, no, Bellator is going to read the thanks game hint for Violet Translator.
Yeah, I agree. I think the Hazing Cliff is the bigger, kind of outstanding one, which probably explains why Op went to check it first. Get that out of the way.
Yeah, because if anything, the nice thing about Spider's Treasure is you can see 2 of the items right away without having to dive the Dark World. Op has now seen all 3 items in Spider's Treasure, so it's not really a big deal now if Op doesn't go back for Calling Chamber right away, because Calling Chamber is fairly easy to route back in later, for the most part. And it looks like Bellator is going back to the Dark World. Might be on the way to Incash 4 for the last red key and to fight a Morvis. Because, yeah, we still don't have proper Torvis access yet. We either need a suit or super missiles. Or Emerald Translator. But yeah, this is one of the, this is definitely an interesting start here. It was certainly a slow one, but it looks like Bellator is going to go into Torvis. Might be thinking about doing some out-of-bounds shenanigans here to get up to the top of Torvis Temple.
Out of bounds makes me nervous, Cap.
Makes me nervous too. I still can't do it to save my life yet.
We had a heartbreaking race. The last one I was calming last week, where out of bounds kind of did the runner in.
You might be thinking of my race with Diggle last week. But yeah, Bellator is going to go out of bounds here using this Morph Ball tunnel. And what this will do is allow Bellator to start the fight from out of bounds. And after Bellator takes down the flying pirates in this fight, it will automatically teleport them to the top of the temple, allowing them to continue the fight as they would have come from the top. Like so. And I think that's Emerald. That's definitely another HUD system in Torvis Temple. That's pretty big. Super is 2 rooms away from... What did that say? Hold on.
I missed it. I say I just looked over and saw super missiles just in the nick of time to even catch that part, but that's some good knowledge that Op has, possibly.
One moment, please.
I see chat saying Hall of Honor Dead has supers.
It was Temple Grounds service access. Now, I don't know where service access actually is. And 2 rooms from service access. Yeah, because usually when a room doesn't have an item name, it's a foreign... Oh!
There we go. Found supers.
It's beside landing site, okay. So, Op literally just walked right into it. So, Hall of Honor Dead was the play.
It's a pretty swanky find, especially in this location. It's going to give you immediate access to your hints if you want.
Here's the thing, though. That's Emerald Translator, though, in Torvis Temple, so Bellator can actually take this Torvis dive further now.
That's also a tough spot for Emerald to be, as far as you try to put this off if you don't have Emerald sometimes.
Yeah, because Emerald Translator is especially powerful, because it seems that Torvis hints end up being the most valuable when it comes to looking for the last couple of items. And we see today that the Seeker is 3 rooms away from, well, the Seekers are in where they were.
Yeah, Bellator getting an important missile hint, but about an hour and or so a little behind on that. We've had the Seeker's knowledge for quite a while.
Yeah, so what Op's trying to do here is screw attack into this tunnel to get out. Unfortunately, he's not busting out of a couple of things. One is that Op is too high. The other is he's not busting out of screw attack fast enough. Because you do have to bust out of screw attack for screw attacking into tunnels to be effective. And we see Poison Bog contains for us a beam-related upgrade. Oh, and I think Op's not going to be keeping those supers. Oh. Oh, Sky Temple Key. That's nice.
Yeah, I don't know that dropping the supers is as big a deal as being aware of where they are. I think that's a big advantage. Bellator will obviously make a play over there at some point. But at least for now, that's some good knowledge on Op's side. But just as fair to say, Bellator with that Emerald pickup, again, kind of the same deal. That's some good knowledge for Bellator to have.
Yeah, because Bellator won't be able to access Lower Torvis, which we know might need to be done for the purpose of grabbing another visor upgrade in. Well, now we know the visor in Dark Oasis is either an unrequired Dark Visor or Echo Visor. But yeah, it looks like Supers was the logical play, and the other problem is Op never picked up Seeker Missiles, which is why he did screw attack into the tunnel. He's going to go pick them up now and probably go back immediately for those Supers.
Yeah, and I apologize. I, for some reason, thought Op was on more E-Tanks because I see Bellator with quite a few. But yeah, that would have been an awful hints check on just one E-Tank. I'm not even sure it would have been possible.
It is absolutely possible, but you would have had to stay put several times. Especially since you're checking 7 hints. Sorry, I had to reopen the stream for a second. Yeah, Op's not too happy about that.
Well, nonetheless, Op armed with...
Okay, so remember how I was saying how Cannonball could be in a really good spot? There it was. So yeah, that's Cannonball in Venomous Pond. And that's great, because if Chica is required, you can literally pick up Cannonball right in Chica's front door. Fun fact, the walls in this room are merely a suggestion, as Bellator can literally just sail out of bounds with a simple space jump.
I'm sure the developers never thought you would jump in this room, right?
Well, fun fact, there's actually a spider ball track in there. And it's active, too. Alright, so what Bellator's got to do to get back inbounds is essentially load Torvis Lagoon, but then make the game think they're in Portal Chamber so they can use a Morph Ball drop, essentially, to Sealing Warp back in, like so. Although without a bounds, you got to make sure you've corrected your location according to the game, because if the game tries to load more than 2 rooms at once, it has a hissy fit and crashes.
Well, I will say that Bellator has been putting on a clinic for how to do some of these tricks in this game. We saw that early boost ball ramp skip to pick up Seekers. We saw that aerial training site movement.
Indeed. Yeah, now Op's going to go and retrieve Seekers. That is another Sky Temple key locked by power bombs in Great Bridge. Now, the nice thing is with for Op with Supers, this is Torvis access. And at this point, besides Cobalt Translator and Emerald, Bellator hasn't found any unique progression items in this dive, which is actually quite interesting.
Yeah, I think we were looking at things about half an hour ago when we saw our first big divergence. So far, the Annihilator Beam hasn't yielded anything on Op's side, as Op decided to fight a Morbus, pick up the Annihilator Beam. Bellator went Spider Side Stank and is actually clipped through to do Torvis Temple access. But as you're saying, Bellator's just kind of been finding missile tanks and energy tanks.
Yeah, the Sang play was certainly an in-logic, perfectly understandable play, but it just didn't yield anything, which unfortunately, that's been very typical of seeds we've seen in this tournament. Although, that Torvis key in the the last Torvis key in the Dynamo Works tunnel could prove to be a problem if we need to do Chica. Now, we have the tools for it, certainly. The game practically handed us Uh-oh. Ops emulator may have just crashed. Yep, it did. Oh, Op cannot catch a break.
Well, the only fortunate thing we can say about this is Op did just have to do a reset before grabbing supers a few minutes ago, so at least Op's going to be back in the same spot to pick up Seekers and supers.
Yeah, Op's going to be able to follow the same path, but you hate to see technical difficulties because of frustration.
It certainly doesn't feel good, but in a spot where it can make up the ground.
Now, I do believe Op saved at the ship, so at the very least, Op just has to... We'll see if... we'll confirm if he saved at the ship. Yeah, he saved at the ship, so at the very least, he only has to go back for super missiles, but that's still... It's just really annoying having to pick that up 3 times. I can completely understand the frustration. Nothing in Plaza Access. We'll see what's in Plaza. A couple of Dark Commandos here. Nothing the combo of Dark Beam and a missile can't fix. I think Belattor was trying to bait the Spore, but didn't quite work out as intended. We would also like to remind the audience at home that Seeker Missiles are the best upgrade in the Metroid Prime trilogy.
They certainly work as intended every time. And yeah, Captain, I totally feel for Op here having to pick these up for a 3rd time, but what Op doesn't know is it's got a little bit of a leg up with this find. So...
Indeed. And I don't remember what the landing site hint said. I think it was missile related, but I'm not sure. At this point, any upgrade that's not a life support system or a HUD, well, we know a HUD system, we can't have 2 HUD systems in Incash unless Dark Visor is not required, but Chat's saying life support system. So that actually might be a good incentive for Op to go check hints with this equipment, because Dark Suit definitely, Dark Suit just adds, multiplies your Dark Aether time by 5. So that will go from a 30-second traversal to a 2.5-minute traversal.
yeah, it would certainly give Op the chance to make it back instead of having to scum the hints. Unfortunately, Op is still sitting on 1 E-Tank, which is not ideal right now for an endgame scenario, but if Op even dips into a little bit of the loop that Bellator's been taking, he's going to find quite a few E-Tanks.
Yeah, that's one thing. That is one thing we have found. E-Tanks haven't really been a problem so far this seed. Quadraxis is guarding Ing Hive Key 2. Now that's funny.
Sorry, chat. I don't think we're going to see Quad.
Yeah, and there's no progression in Underground Tunnel either. We got another hint for Op in Path of Eyes that says the Hive Temple keys are irrelevant. The hints haven't really been doing us a whole lot of favors today. They did us a few favors early, but not so much now.
Certainly better hints than I usually see as far as timing.
Alright, so Bellator has returned to Aegon here. Let's see what the play is. Tried to go for the portal, I think, but didn't quite. Bellator might be thinking about Amorbus now.
Yeah, I think that that's definitely what's on Bellator's mind.
Yeah, because Bellator still doesn't know about super missiles. And given this path, probably won't encounter them for some time.
Yeah, that's an area you tend to put off until you have everything you need to check the hints, so you can minimize your trips. Unfortunately, a large portion of what you need to check the hints is sitting there.
All right, so Alpha's making the Torvis loop now, and the nice thing about the Torvis loop at this point is Alpha's going to be able to check lower Torvis and pretty much full clear it, with the exception of Dungeon. With Gravity and Annihilator, the two and Ball upgrades are the big inhibitors for down there. And yep, Bellator's gotten that last Aegon key, so I'm pretty sure Morbus is the next stop. But yeah, the Emerald hints haven't actually been doing us a whole lot of favors so far this seed. Well, that was rude, Bellator. That Lightbringer didn't deserve that. Now, we've seen a lot of STKs already, too. We've seen 5. So we only are looking for 4 more, but they still can all be in bad locations, and Chica has not been ruled out yet.
I know chat would be hyped to see a Chica Sky Temple key.
Yeah, it's actually quite amazing that we really have not seen Chica show up yet in this tournament.
Well, with Cannonball right outside of Chica, it won't be a long fight if we do see it.
Absolutely not.
I'll be interested to see where Bellator decides to take progression from here, because Annihilator hasn't led to anything yet. And hopefully Annihilator doesn't lead Bellator further away from the Super Missile grab.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if Bellator immediately checks in Cache 2 upon acquisition of Annihilator Beam here, because just because of it's basically in the same neighborhood. Unfortunately, Bellator does not have Super Missiles to route it in easier through Warrior's Walk, which also could have progression at this point now, too.
Op grabbing an energy tank. They've been few and far between on Op's side.
Yeah, Op is now running 3, which for Dark World is pretty... I wouldn't say for Torvis Dark World it's pretty cozy, but it's definitely a lot less... concerning. Alright, all picking up Sky Temple Key 3 out of Great Bridge. Ironically, also his 3rd.
Well-timed Op.
And Op's going to stumble upon Emerald Translator and will be able to check the items in Torvis Energy Controller and the hint, but looks like Bellator got Worm Raved.
As fun as the light show is to watch, you hate to see it on Bellator's side.
Op nailing the super onto the 2 flying pirates. And then with Annihilator Beam, this pirate fight is pretty much a cakewalk. 5 shots each. And down they go, leaving a shower of ammo munition, usually, in their wake.
And just like that, we've got Annihilator Beam on Bellator's side and Emerald Translator pickup on Op's side. Now, armed with super missiles, we are going to get a checkup here at the Torvis energy station.
Yeah, this is another potential break coming up for Op. We'll see if this finally works out, if we can finally get some clues on where to go next. Not from the item, but from the hint, maybe?
Maybe.
A suit is in Sentinel's path, locked by Annihilator and Echo.
That's some good information, though.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty big deal. If Light Suit is required, so is Annihilator and Echo by extension, which means Powerbomb Guardian will need to be KO'd in order to get the visor, Echo Visor, which we have to assume that by that point is in Dark Oasis.
And kind of the, stacking up the tough reality is Bellator's been through here, but didn't have super missiles to check that hint. And unless Bellator's really on a search, I don't think that they're going to double back, kind of covering that much ground again, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it looks like AWP is going to do the Torvis, the Dark Torvis dive at this point. Surprised he chose not to take that Emerald Translator into Underground Tunnel. Unless AWP is taking a save here and going to check hints. Which might be what he's doing. In fact, I think that is exactly what he's doing. He's just getting some missiles before doing so. Gets a pretty lucky 15 refill. But yeah, Bellator is going straight for in-cache too. Unfortunately, this will not do any more favors besides grab a light ammo tank. That pirate just got absolutely rolled over. I wasn't aware we were going bowling today.
Yeah, Bellator clearly on a mission here.
Fun fact, there is
No
actually a
time
bowl.
for,
Sorry, you first.
No. Go ahead.
I was just saying, fun fact, there is a bowling achievement in Metroid Prime 3.
Is that bowling for bots? Is that what that
Indeed
was?
it is.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, there are some tin bots in the second major in Elysia that if you boost through enough of them, you get a friend voucher for bowling through them. RIP, we connect 24.
Bellator continuing progress through here. Dark Agon. Not necessarily a bad call with the knowledge that Bellator has right now, but with what we know, it's that Hall of Honor dead play that Bellator needs to make it over to.
Yeah, and I'm thinking that's probably Bellator's next stop, since Bellator is effectively about to be railroaded into it. And what is that in Orbital Rounds? I don't think it was a Sky Temple key, but we can always double check in the hints.
And yes, to confirm with chat, there was a progressive suit in Sentinel's path.
And yeah, Bellator got the light ammo. Not happy about it, I'm sure.
Speaking of hints, Captain, I have a feeling that's what we're about to see over here on Ops side.
Time to break out the old notepad.
Yeah, armed with a little more health this run around.
Yeah, AWP should, as long as AWP has at least 120 HP, it should be enough to check 5 hint totems. But save scumming the hints right now is definitely the correct move, because it'll put you right back in Torvis. Alright, here we go. Gathering Hall. Alright, that's free. Culling Chamber, we already know about. And let's see. Under Temple Access. That's free. Sank Entrance. That's free. Rude, but free. Main gyro. Echo visor is required. But... oh, Echo and Dark Visor are required, so we are on the hunt for Dark Visor and Light Suit.
Alright, I'm a little confused here.
So main gyro requires Echo Visor. It's that gyro room that's the Annihilator Echo puzzle. We know Echo is in Dark Oasis.
Right, but isn't that... don't you need light suit to get to that?
We do. So...
but isn't light suit
Wait.
Echo locked? That's why I'm confused.
wait. I'm having a, I might be confusing the locations. Where was the HUD system hint?
It was. I thought HUD system was in Dark Oasis, which was Dark Water, right?
Oh, wait a minute. Okay, yeah. So here's, I'm starting to realize the kerfuffle here. So I thought because I thought I get it now. Yeah, sorry, my mistake. Dark Visor's locking itself, and Belattor is not happy about those super missiles. Yeah, I see it now.
All right, Captain. As long as you know what's going on, I'm just along for the ride at this point.
Yeah, so actually, so I have to take it back. So now Echo is unknown.
So that is a Dark Visor locked Dark Visor.
Yeah, so now we just got to find. Yeah, so I was under the impression that because Echo Visor was required, it had to be in that ink cache, but given that Dark Visor is not required, given what we know now, for Sky Temple keys at the very least. So yeah, I take back what I said. But yeah, I thought for sure we might have had to go get Light Suit. Yikes. Okay, so yeah, we're just looking for Echo Visor, which could be down here. It's probably down here in Lower Torvis.
Echo on Chaika. Come on.
I mean, that is absolutely... Well, actually, no, that's impossible, because the game does expect you to have Dark Visor to get out of the temple. So, yeah, Chica can't have a HUD system. At this point. I was getting, I can't believe I got thrown off by that.
No,
So,
I'm
yeah.
with you. I was very, I was trying to figure out how they were locking each other if they were both needed, but now I got you. And thank you for taking the time to walk us through that.
Oh, no
Yeah,
problem.
Chaika, unfortunately, from what I understand, is dead since we can't get access to that Dark Visor.
Yeah, I don't think Chaika can have any progression at this point. Alright, so Op sees the Gathering Hall key, and yeah, right now, hopefully Op catches on that, Op might check the hint later. Alright, Bellator is about to see the hints. Dude,
Yeah,
Bellator only needs to read 4 of these. Might actually just take them out of the area, because trying to save Scum with 4 energy tanks left is gonna take a while. But yeah, I think the rudest key out of all of those is probably main gyro at the moment, just because we can do everything else.
Yeah, I was just about to say, all told, everything else was pretty free pickups here.
And there's the Amorbis hint for Annihilator. Now, to answer your question, chat, Bellator never picked up Cannonball. They saw it, and they did nothing to do about it. So it just never got picked up, so Bellator doesn't have it yet.
And given its location, it actually makes a lot of sense. Because if you did need to do Chaika, you could guarantee that you wouldn't have to waste it somewhere else.
Indeed. But yeah, Bellator's got enough HP at this point to just skate to the portal and save the key hints.
And as chat pointing out, we don't know yet that Amorbis's Annihilator Beam was required.
We do. Main Gyro's Annihilator locked, so yeah, that is a guaranteed +1 Amorbis.
Oh, sorry, I misspoke. And nice STK grab for Op there.
it's actually, Jack brings up a good question of, how behind do the runners feel at this point? Because on one end, Op had to pick up super missiles 3 times. On Bellator's end, Bellator was very late to super missiles. Whoops!
Yeah. A little bit of a bowling tumble there.
The nice thing, though, is Wind Chamber Gate doesn't have terminal fall damage for some stupid reason. Granted, that's a good thing, not necessarily a stupid reason, but still weird. Looks like Bellator is going for Sank entrance now. Makes sense. there's Sunburst in Transit Tunnel South. So that's two of the other super combos.
Yeah, I think in the situation that both runners have found themselves, I think you probably feel pretty behind just with that, like you said, the triple reset, as well as kind of the world tour before getting the item that you needed, which was kind of sitting out there. So I think usually runners feel behind.
Progressive suit is 3 rooms away from a progressive suit. Great hint. Great hint. But that does give us actual intel because we know where one of those suits are. So the other suit is on Spider Guardian.
Yeah, it's a rude hint, but a helpful one.
Dynamo Works is 3 rooms away from Sentinel's Path. Temple, Worker's Path, and yeah. Alright, so Op's other hint was whatever was in transpose to the gravity boost hint. What is this? Another E-Tank.
E-Tanks are good for Op right now.
Jeez. So yeah, if you want to get a suit, well, one of them is impossible for one thing. Well, no, one's not possible. One's just behind, because again, we know we can find Echo. So one is in Sentinel's Path, the other's on Spider Guardian. You know where Echo could be? Airy.
I think given the way this seed has been, especially with the sense of humor the hints have had, that might be a good call to check earlier than to put off for too long, especially while you're making your route here on Bellator's side through Sank.
Well, running
Take a
out
quick
of hints,
save.
though.
Yeah, take a quick save. Go ahead and take a look. Oh,
Yeah, we're running out of hints, though. I think actually this hint in Sank Entrance is the last hint. Because Op has seen all the lower Torvis hints, and they pointed to gravity, something else, and either way, none of them were Echo, I don't think. Yeah, here's the thing about that debris. Don't leave the turret until it's shot down, because for some stupid reason, it doesn't collapse. I think. Alright, let's see where this hint tells us. Cheka is guarding a power bomb. Oh yeah, that's right. That was a guaranteed boss hint. So we're gonna be flying blind looking for Echo Visor. Because we've exhausted all of our hints.
yeah, I'm thinking, Captain, that you gotta go ahead and check that. Yes, there was a quad hint. I think
Yeah,
it was a
quad is-
missile expansion, or it was beam ammo. I can't remember.
It was actually an Inghive key. So we've got Quad locking himself, a suit away from a suit. We've had some good comedy this seed. But Op going for the Under Temple play. This is also a pretty good play because that's an additional 2 items we can see. We know Under Temple access is already a key. And in fact, I don't think there are any Inghive keys in Torvis. Never mind!
Oh, look, Captain and Inghive key.
I've been doing that a lot lately.
Oh, you got me beat for sure. I have been just butchering some of my logic today. No worries at all. Well, with the Inghive key there, no reason to start that blog fight.
Nope. Now let's listen in and see if this is an item or a key here. It is a missile tank. That item is actually kind of tough to hear from down there by the portal, because the portal sound effect, I think, overtakes it.
So what I think interesting, though, is our runners, armed with the same knowledge, have chosen very different paths to fulfill that. So really neither at an advantage right now because we don't know where Echo's going to turn up.
Yeah, that's basically the main handicap, and I'm sure both of these runners would at least like a suit before final bosses, although Dark Suit's not in the worst spot possible. Although, unfortunately, because of what we need to do, it is somewhat out of the way. I mean, main gyro's not that far away from Sentinel's path, but even still, not brilliant.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how the end game plays out there for both our runners because, as we said a few minutes ago, get the sensation that they're feeling pretty behind based on how the seed has laid out here.
Alright, this is an item, I think. Yeah, this is definitely an item. I'm having a little trouble nailing the double bomb jump to get on the railing here. And Power Bomb Guardian gives us an energy tank.
Op's not going to say no to that.
We still got 2 more checks here in Dark Lower Torvus. We've got Grapple Guardian and Under Transit 1. Grapple Guardian, although to be fair, since Op grabs Sunburst, not necessarily going to be a bad fight.
No doubt Op had that in mind on that pickup, since it was right next to the light version of where he would be.
Pretty much. But yeah, we're just looking for Echo Visor, and again, we're not going to get any more hints at this point.
And Belattor is coming up to check that hint.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we've read all the hints. I know we've read all the ones in Temple Grounds. I'm fairly certain we read all the ones in Aegon. Op gave us the rest of the Torvus ones, and Sank Entrance's hint pointed to Chica. Ooh, I'll fire that Sunburst just a little too late. Got the second one, though. Oh, chat brings up a good point. Actually, I think we may have not seen the Sank Energy Controller hint. Because, yeah, Bellator didn't get Cobalt until after checking Sank Temple.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't remember what Cobalt was, but you're right, it was after, definitely. So no, there's one outstanding hint.
Yeah, Cobalt was in Watch Station access. So yeah, that might be that's our last hint, and hopefully it doesn't point to Grapple Beam. Because the nice thing about the hints is now that there are only 3 red key hints and the 4 guaranteed boss hints, there's 13 hints that point to unique items. Well, except for the Annihilator Beam, because it got double hinted because of the Morbus. Inner Slice asking, what are the runners missing? They are looking for Echo Visor and only Echo Visor, and currently it is unhinted. Oh, well, there's the other Inghive key. Okay, this is actually getting kind of ridiculous. So where is that Echo Visor? So we've exhausted Torvis at this point.
I don't want to cut you off, Captain, but Ares looking more and more appealing.
I'm trying to think, actually, because we're actually running really low on checks right now. We haven't seen Cash B. Area is still in play. We've seen the hint in main research and the item. So it's not Caretaker Drone. We haven't seen Storage C because, yeah, all the super lock checks. Oh, chat's actually pointing out that area is actually not possible because you need some form of cloaking detection to see Dark Samus, and Dark Visor is impossible. So interesting. Chat's saying it could be Feeding Pit, which would be the absolute worst case scenario ever.
And Warrior's Walk. I don't think either player had supers when they were over there.
And to answer a question from Interslice, yeah, we can now confirm that because Echo is required for, basically we need Echo for main gyro, so, we need Echo for main gyro, but we also know that a suit is, locked by Echo Visor as well, so, Echo can't be behind Light Suit, and since there's a HUD system behind an ink cache, it's Dark Visor locking itself. But yeah, basically any supers checks we haven't made yet are in play, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be a supers check at this point, given how late in the chain it is. I think the sooner we get to Sank Temple, the better.
Op on the way over there, but Op has not grabbed Cobalt yet.
Yeah, Cobalt's going to be a little late in the bandwagon for Op, and the nice thing about this is Op is going to be able to grab Culling Chamber. And, yeah, the dungeon hint is for watch station access, which we know is Cobalt. That looked like a missile. Yeah. Runners did check Mining Station B and Storage A. No unique items in there of note. Belattor got the item, but I think it was strictly so they can get a power bomb drop off of a red Kralie. And the hint, yes. Amber came up fairly early, so hints were not an issue for Aegon today.
Yeah, for all the running around it felt like we were doing here, most of what we needed was kind of in that one location. Between Aegon and Dark Aegon, a little bit of Temple Grounds.
Yeah, it really just comes down to where is Echo Visor.
And in the meantime, Bellator and Op are kind of covering some ground that we've already seen the other runner do, so I don't know that we're going to see it turn up just yet.
I don't foresee it, although Op's got way more than enough energy tanks to check this time. So, one other location we can also rule out is Hive Gyro Chamber. So we can rule that out.
Always nice when you can route an STK in along with your one item hunt here.
Yeah, although Dark Visor does block out a few convenience routes like Sacred Bridge or Hive Dynamo, so we're unfortunately going to have to do a bit of long walking. The second item on Spider Guardian we have already confirmed is a expansion of some sort. It's actually a Torvis key, excuse me.
Do we know what's on Spider?
Yes, it's the other suit.
Okay.
Because of the
that's
proximity hint. Yeah, because Bellator already full cleared Watch Station. So
Don't grab it, Bellator. You don't need it.
yeah, at this point, yeah, we know the other suit is on Spider Guardian. Both runners may just choose to go without it, depending on where Echo Visor ends up being. But yeah, there's a few locations Echo could be. The unfortunate thing is they're basically not here.
Yeah, I'm kind of going to have to side with the comment you made a little bit ago. I think it's Super's locked, and I think it's earlier in the game.
Yeah, you might have only had to come to Spider's Treasure for, you might have only had to come to Spider's Treasure for a Sky Temple key. Ooh, nice boost.
And as that reality sets in, that's got to feel pretty rough on the runners, who I can only imagine you think your opponent has routed this flawlessly.
Absolutely, and as somebody who's just a first-timer in the tournament, once I hit go mode, that's probably when I'm honestly the most nervous. Because it's like, you know, did I route this cleanly? Did my opponent have any issues? Yeah, it throws a lot more questions than answers into your mind. Ironically, the only question it answers is how do you solve the seed? Oh no, Op got booted off the gyro. I don't remember if Bellator checked also the main gyro chamber hint. Op may very well go start checking Cobalt hints after picking up Cobalt.
I mean, it makes sense. It certainly makes sense.
Yeah, because I'm fairly certain one of these remaining Cobalt hints that we missed should point to Echo Visor. I'm trying to think of how many unique items are in this pool, and it looks like it's 5. Oh, it's actually way more than 13. It's actually a lot of items.
Yeah, and it doesn't help that some of them were we had that double annihilator hint because of the Amorbus hint.
Yeah, that's a bit unfortunate.
Yeah, so we are on an Echo hunt. And as we continue... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, it looks like Op's going to the temple first here, so is not going to stumble upon Cobalt just yet.
Yeah, that Cobalt pickup is going to be a kind of a kick yourself, like, oh, could have done this in the other order.
When in doubt, Annihilator Beam when it comes to that quad.
Well, I was going to say, as we're seeing our runners kind of cover each other's ground here, please do take a moment, through their links up in the chat, please give these runners a follow. awp82 and Belattor putting on a great performance for us today. Really putting some great execution on display and just enjoyable to watch. So if you've been enjoying this tournament and this match, please give them a follow. They're putting their own great content out all the time, and it would just be a great way to support these runners. And if you've enjoyed what you've seen today, there are plenty more matches going on today. I believe there are 3 other matches in this tournament as we're entering round 4.
Yeah, the first round is the first match should be going on right now on SG1. Jagger G versus Kirby Master. We've got Lokir versus Aaron Explosives at 8, and Digglerath versus Expro 32 at 8:30 Eastern Time. So we've got a lot going on in the next few hours here, and still another 7 or 8 matches to go after that.
And as always, please give a follow to my amazing co-com here, Captain MD13, and our awesome tracker, Jojo Mojo 2, who's been keeping both of us in line tonight.
Yeah, JoJo's been doing a great job throughout the entirety of this tournament, really, just helping us keep in check and making sure everybody knows who has what.
Captain, did you see Op pause there on the Cobalt pickup?
Yep.
That's what I was saying just a second ago. Would have been nice to have this, huh? Well, to your comment there, Jojo, missing items a lot, I will have to say that I have put my foot in my mouth quite a few times in this almost 2-hour seed alone, so I wouldn't worry about it too much. Appreciate it. Everybody's doing a great job.
You know, you're busy shouting everybody out. We should also say thank you, 329th in line, and go follow him as well.
Well, thank you, Cap. I appreciate being able to give back to a community that I have gotten so much enjoyment from over the years.
All right, what is our next play? So Op's gonna clean out Watch Station here. Now, at this point, yeah, I mean, what we really would like to see is for Op to go back to check the other Cobalt hints, because at this point, that's really what that's gonna make or break this race. Because right now, it's either that or go back to Aegon to do super missiles checks. Take your pick.
Well, it's interesting how the timing is laid out here. I wouldn't be surprised if we don't get a hint. I wouldn't be surprised if we see those Aegon Supers checks simultaneously or pretty close to it. Could make for a very close ending to this.
I just realized something. Bellator has like 10 energy tanks.
I'm happy that Op caught up, because when Bellator was making the world tour here earlier, Bellator picked up a bunch of tanks on this run, and Op was running like 1 or 2 tanks for most of this race.
Yeah, and that we saw that lead to an issue when Op went to Spider's Treasure on the first take, but now it's not an issue anymore. And yeah, we might.
Oh, go ahead.
We might be seeing suitless final bosses at this rate if this keeps up. I also just realized nobody went to Boost Guardian, which is that's where Bellator is going.
I was gonna say, didn't Bellator fight Boost earlier?
No, Bellator BSJ'd up the Forgotten Bridge gate, so didn't go to the Dark World afterwards.
Oh, well, here we go. Been sitting on this for about an hour and a half. I had totally forgotten about Boost.
That one threw me off too. Could be Cache B as well. What is that up there? Not Echo. We know Venomous Pond is Cannonball. Cache B is behind Venomous Pond, behind Dark Torvus Temple. Ooh, Bellator getting lucky with the power bomb there.
Taking an extra shot at the Boost Guardian there. Oh, but just a missile tank. That would have been a really good pull.
That would have been basically a saving grace for Bellator.
Yeah, the frustrating part, and we've said it a few times, is there may be 1 or 2 hints that we didn't see. Hopefully we get those checks on the op side, but if Echo is unhinted, this is pretty much a where does it turn up first race.
Yeah, and at that point, it's just a matter of the decisions you make. Op is going for Spider Guardian. We know this is going to yield him a suit, but only a suit. Moment of truth for Bellator.
Anyone checked PED? There we go, chat. Thank you. At this point, it feels like Echo could be on PED.
The closest thing we can really get to pedestal is Super Missiles and Torvus Energy Controller.
Well, Op taking the time to grab a suit. I'm not sure if Op has the other information to know what the rest of this will yield. She might be checking that now.
Op actually doesn't know about this because the suit hint was in Fortress Transport Access.
Well, then this play makes a little more sense with that knowledge. I find it, as much as I personally would need a suit to take on final bosses, I know Op does not with this energy tank count, so...
900 energy gives you a grand total of about 2.5 minutes of Dark Gator time, and with the amount of health drops Emperor 2 can give, that's more than enough time.
And unfortunately, Spider Guardian was a little too far on the path there to make a quick exit for that round. But Op taking advantage of the fact that the randomizer fixed the little power bomb glitch here, so in a vanilla run of this game, a power bomb would kill him, and you'd have no way to finish the fight. That's very bad. But in this, it just stuns him.
Yeah, to answer a question in the chat about what PET is, Pedestal is from Link to the Past Randomizer, and it basically requires... it basically makes the seed an all dungeon seed, an oops all dungeon seed, if you have to go pull the item that's on Pedestal. Oh, chat brings up another good point. We never saw Plane of Dark Worship, which Belattor is going to check for us.
Yeah, as nice as this suit upgrade is going to be for Op, Bellator's given us some more information here, some good checks.
Now with Screw Attack, this absolutely does not need 10 energy tanks, and Bellator's going for it. It's Echo. Echo was behind Light and Dark Beam, and technically a suit, so that means Spider Guardian is hard required. I'm pretty sure the game doesn't expect you to have any special gear for this.
Well, happy 2 hours, everyone.
But that does put Belattor in go mode.
What a way to celebrate. I wonder if the suit will push Op in that direction. That's a little, it's going to be cutting it awful close. But you always like to hold out for the possibilities. But Bellator is definitely in a commanding position right now.
Answer your question in chat. Yes, Feeding Pit is the only Dark Water check that is not in cash related. The only key Bellator is missing is main gyro too, so right now I think I would definitely say this is Bellator's race to lose.
Oh, without a doubt, Bellator in a commanding position.
Yeah, Bellator is going to continue to increase their win streak to 4, so it's going to put them in fairly solid position to take a spot in the brackets.
Yeah, and while that Echo Visor was not supers locked, I think the idea of going to check some of those early supers checks pushed Bellator in the right direction to grab some outstanding stuff that we just kind of had left behind earlier, especially with the low energy we had starting out. It was hard to check some of those locations on just a couple of tanks.
Yeah, talk about a seed that went technically, if you look at the item chain, from 0 to 60 in no time. Because after beams, that was all you needed for, well, and the suit technically. That's all you needed for Echo Visor. But after Seekers and Boost Ball, then you could finally go get Super. So yeah, talk about a seed that went from 0 to 60 pretty fast.
Yeah, and that Super's placement is always rough. That's not an area where you like to go visit unless you have Supers so you can check your hints. And so Op with the early advantage making the pickup of Supers, but unfortunately took him too long to get back to that area afterwards because just had a little bit too much of the game open to him at that point.
Yeah, that's the problem when you're looking for a low wall in Morph Ball mode. Press A to drop bombs. Nice hint. One of our new 2.4 joke hints, if I'm not mistaken. Because, yeah, I think that text box is removed in the randomizer.
And there it is. STK number 9, pickup on Bellator's side at 2 hours and about 4.5 minutes.
Yeah, it looks like Op's going to go check Storage C. Again, perfectly sensible play given that Supers checks and Plane of Dark Worship are basically all that's left here. But turns out Plane of Dark Worship was the play. And to be fair, Plane of Dark Worship wasn't logically accessible until after Spider Guardian.
Especially in a seed where we had, what, 2 energy tanks before we started checking Torvis and Sank?
Yeah, and to be fair, 2 energy tanks is, for the most part, logically enough to do quite a lot in Aegon. Because we now have logic for every dark room for health requirements, thanks to a lot of work from our community, especially Dice Rock. But yep, it is on to final bosses with a save warp to the closest you can get to the ship in these settings. Next to Hive Chamber C or something.
And armed with what, at a quick count, looks like 10? Is that 10 E-tanks on Bellator's side?
Mm-hmm.
Not going to be missing that suit too much in this final fight.
Not at all. Yeah, as we wind down here, folks, we would again like to remind you folks at home that there are still races going on for the rest of the night. We've got Jagger G versus Curving Nesta on right now on SG1. We've got Lokir versus Aaron Explosives in 30 minutes right here, which it looks like it's going to time out pretty well at this rate. And Digglerath versus Expro32 on SG1 on 8:30.
Yep, definitely a night you're going to want to stick around for. Plenty of great Metroid Prime 2 Echoes randomizer to be had. And even this race, Captain, was up until just a few minutes ago, edge of the seat. Could have gone either way.
Absolutely. That reminds me, actually, I need to +1 Spider Guardian. Right now, excuse me, right now Amorbus does take the lead on requirements with 10 requirements compared to Spider Guardian's 8. And I think Op's about to get very confused at the HUD system hint for a minute.
That's okay, because we were both pretty confused about that for a second, too.
Yeah, we were. You got me.
Even when we first got that hint, I definitely said, well, at least it can't be Dark Visor, and boy, was I wrong. No worries, though, because Bellator was able to put it all together, and here we are, 2 hours and 9 minutes. Emperor Ing gets to make an appearance.
Yeah, unfortunately, Bellator got a little too close to Emperor Ing. Emperor Ing will automatically do that tentacle swipe attack at close range. Now, I'm being informed by folks in chat coming from the Jagger G Kirby Master race that that Amorphous and Chica had Sky Temple keys.
Well, if the legends are true, Chaika has made an appearance in this tournament.
At long last. Unfortunately, Bellator didn't quite get a good cycle on Emperor Ing, so didn't trim that much health and is going to just take the just go for a second cycle.
Going to be pretty reliant on health drops here, as Bellator is taking on Emperor Ing suitless.
Yeah, Bellator's only got about 1 minute and 30 seconds left of Dark Aether time and got stunned again. This is actually going to be a bit problematic right now. Bellator definitely has the ammo to keep this up for a bit, but does need to get a move on things pretty soon. Bellator is down to 45 seconds.
Bellator did take a save, so
Yes.
with where
So
Op
that's
is at, yeah, I was just gonna say with where Op is at, has a few runs at this before Op catches up, I'd say. There we go. Phase 1 down.
Phase 1 down, but Bellator does still have to move quickly. Only has 30 seconds of Dark Aether time remaining. Didn't quite get that first power bomb. Ooh, gets a pair of gold drops to extend Dark Aether time by another 40 seconds.
Yeah, those are crucial right there. That's not luck, chat. That's skill.
Now, Bellator did miss one of the tentacle spots, so does have to go back for it. Now, the nice thing about this fight is that upon KO of Emperor Ing, it does result in a health refill.
I was gonna say, I'm not sure Bellator knows where it is. It's like searching a little bit. But nonetheless, found it. We're on to phase 3, and hopefully with Screw Attack, this can be quickly over so Bellator can get that health refill for Dark Samus fight.
30 more seconds remaining. One solid Screw Attack impact should do it.
Just a little shy there. There we go.
Well done. Definitely needed all of those energy tanks. So Op is in Torvis right now. Let's see what the play is. Unfortunately, this is going to just take him miles away from Echo Visor at this rate. Probably thinking Boost Guardian, just like Bellator did. Oh, I'm being informed that DynamoWorks has a Sky Temple key in the other race too. So, well, bosses are starting to pile up here in week 4 of the Rounds of Swiss.
It's good to see the bosses make an appearance. I think every seed I calmed up to this point did not have a major boss in it.
Oh my.
But those seeds are a thing of the past, as right now Bellator is taking on Dark Samus.
So Bellator is going to try and push Dark Samus back, quote-unquote, by staying close while Dark Samus fires, try and keep her away from the center, and then we'll use repeated screw attacks while she's cloaked in order to keep her where she is. But it looks like Dark Samus decided not to cooperate, and Bellator will get centered immediately. Now, Bellator still has about 2 minutes of Dark Aether time left, so we'll see if Bellator can pull this off. Now, there was a checkpoint made at Emperor Ink 3, so Bellator will be able to start this fight from the beginning, if need be.
Well, I'm holding out. I have faith here. Bellator's been pretty much putting on a clinic for how to navigate through this game at low percents. And I would consider a suitless final boss still a low percent.
Alright, Bellator is down to 1 minute remaining. Has done the majority of the damage, but unfortunately Dark Samus came down. So that's going to unfortunately burn that shot. Gets another one immediately, though.
It's going to be down to the wire here.
Now, the good news is Dark Samus can't come down after this hit. Oh, but Bellator misses the super. Oh, using screw attack to try and preserve the time. 15 seconds remaining. 10. Oh, this is going to be close. Oh, Dark Samus isn't cooperating. 3 seconds left. It is not going to work. And the last shot comes out right in time for the KO.
That's just a heartbreaker right there.
You hate to see it.
You know, I blame Dark Samus for lack of cooperation there.
I would too.
It's as if Dark Samus didn't want to be destroyed.
Makes sense.
Well, as we said a moment ago, out of all the places you have to take a reset, not the worst is you get to skip that Emperor Ink fight. And Bellator is going to go ahead for a second crack here at Dark Samus to finish up this seed.
Alright. Once more with feeling. Yeah, unfortunately, sometimes Dark Samus might just not cooperate with you, and you might just get centered immediately. I think it might help to screw attack in on the side that is closer to the center to knock her the other way, but I'm not sure. That was a bonk. That's not going to result in a whole lot of damage. This time, Dark Samus is being a tad bit more cooperative, except took a missile hit directly there, didn't throw her shield up. There she goes. Oh, does that not affect it? Okay. Nope. I don't like where this is going. Centered again, below 50% health this time. Not a whole lot different compared to last time.
Yeah, and unfortunately... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, you first. I've been interrupting you a lot.
Now, I was just going to say, unfortunately on Ops side, making the dive for boost Guardian, so still pretty far off the trail of that Echo Visor.
Ooh, just does manage to get the quick kill just like Bellator did. But yeah, the problem with this fight on Various Suit is that you really don't have the time to take flinches. Because normally a flinch, if you take a hit from a big missile and flinch, you you won't take damage, you won't flinch again for like half a minute. The problem is that does about 50 damage, which right now is about 30 seconds, not 30, more like 10 seconds of Dark Aether time, which you really don't have. Bellator is already down to 1 minute remaining. And Dark Samus is not helping. "30 seconds remaining.
Getting her charge, though.
Alright, it's last shot. Dark Samus just has to cooperate. Same position we were in before. 20
A little
seconds
more
to
health
go.
to gamble.
Seven seconds remaining. This shot has to do it. Does it with single digits left. Bellator will finish this race in first place in spectacular fashion with an official race time GG time of 2:19:09. 2:19:18. Yeah, 2:19:09. Sorry.
Talk about your close calls. GG, Bellator.
Indeed. And awp has forfeited as well.
GG's to Op as well for a great run. We are joined by Bellator and awp82. GG's to both of you.
GG.
So we got to tell you, both of your go modes were Echo. Awp, would you like to know where that was?
Where?
Plane of Dark Worship. That dark suit you picked up off Spider Guardian was logically required.
Well, I figured it might have been there as soon as I was done checking Torvis. I would have last locationed it.
So here's the thing, though. Up until that point, it was basically a random guess where Echo Visor could be, because we basically never saw a hint for it anywhere. We all got thrown off when we saw the HUD system in Dark Oasis hint.
Yeah. I was looking for Light Suit too. And then when I got back there the second time and realized that Light Suit was Echo locked, I was like, how could I get Light Suit for Dark Oasis? It's locked by itself.
Yeah.
Dark Visor. So that threw me off. The early game was terrible because I mistook Seekers for a regular missile and what was it?
Crossroads.
Yeah, I thought that was a regular missile. So that threw me off, and then just all kinds of mistakes. My execution was way off today.
Yeah, although the crazy thing is, you found supers way before Bellator did.
Yeah, I thought about this.
You also fought a Morbus first off and had Annihilator beam early, which we thought after your supers find would be pretty big, but unfortunately Bellator just happened to stumble upon Echo first.
Yeah, the tough read of it was both you and Bellator were it was anybody's game. You'd pretty much covered the same ground and were just kind of looking for Echo, and whoever stumbled upon it first was going to walk away, and yeah, it just went the way that it did, but it was a great match to watch.
It was. Yeah, we saw Bellator, you had a little bit of trouble with Dark Samus. I mean, trying to do, although you, we give props to anybody who can do final bosses suitless, so.
I mean, doing Dark Samus suitless at almost 2 AM is not that good of an idea. I should have taken the extra seconds to pick the Sentinel Path suits.
Yeah, we're still, it took us a minute to catch after main gyro that, wait a minute, Dark Visor's locking itself, and we absolutely laughed when Bellator, you picked up Fortress Transport hint, which said, Op, I don't think you picked this hint up, but a suit is 3 rooms away from a suit.
Yeah, this one was cool. At first, I immediately thought about lower Torvis for both of suits,
Oh
But
yeah,
when
and I wait. Sorry. Go ahead.
and when I had the hint for the suit in Sentinel Path, I was like, okay, it's time to play hide and seek with Echo.
That's basically what it came down to. Although one hint we didn't see throughout the course of the seed was Sank Energy Controller. So we
Yeah.
were thinking maybe that was the Echo Visor hint, but we never saw it.
Yeah, and I wasted all that time on Powerbomb Guardian
Oh,
just for Dark Oasis.
I did too. I did Powerbomb Guardian, Grapple Guardian. The only Guardian I didn't fought was Spider. Yeah,
Yeah.
Spider.
No, it was definitely a head scratcher. That Dark Visor hint was Captain and I were kind of cracking up because we couldn't figure it out for a hot second. But Bellator, that I'm gonna get the name wrong, but was it called the butter ramp? You were able to do that jump to get the seekers early was very
Yeah,
impressive. Really nice job.
I trained this jump a lot lately because I think it can buy you a lot of time, especially if you have a seeker early.
Yeah, and Boost Ball was a bit later in the chain too, because it was all the way down in Battleground.
Yeah, and Vanilla Light Beam.
Yeah, Vanilla Light Beam. Vanilla
Um,
Light Beam, Quad having an Inghive key. It was just a comedy of logical placement today.
I
Yeah.
almost thought it would be Vanilla Seekers too.
All right. Well, with that, is there anything you two would like to say about this seed before we close out and start getting on with the rest of our rando festivities?
I got nothing.
Just don't attempt final boss suitless late in the night.
All right then. Well, with that said, thank you all for watching this race in the Metroid Prime 2 Echoes Randomizer 2021 tournament. Stay tuned right here on Speed Gaming 3 for in just 10 minutes. We have the match between Lokir versus Aaron Explosives. Standard tournament settings, so definitely be ready for that one. That is going to be a good time. Follow both of our runners, Belattor and awp82. They have put on a fantastic show for you here this lovely Tuesday evening or Wednesday morning, depending on your time of day. And shout outs also to our wonderful tracker, Jojo Mojo, for her excellent work in making sure everybody knows who has what. And 329th in line, thank you so much for joining me here in the booth tonight.
Well, thank you. It was an absolute pleasure. Make sure you give a follow to Captain MD13. And once again, GG's to both our runners. Amazing performances. It was a real joy to watch. And like Captain said, stick around. There's a lot more great tournament action going on here throughout the evening.
Indeed. With that said, folks, thank you for watching. Have a great rest of your night, and we will see you next mission, which will be right here in just 10 minutes.
Yeah.
See ya.